This right here is a Polaris Trailboss 330, and pretty much every Polaris, from my understanding, has this same problem eventually. The A-arms on the front, where they've got these McPherson strut suspension things, have these little plastic bushings in the A-arms. And these plastic bushings degrade over the years, and it makes the A-arms able to move around, which makes the steering kind of unstable and sometimes even bind up really bad. I remember years and years and years ago, my grandfather had an old 250 Polaris 2-stroke. It was blue, looked almost identical to this Trailboss, and it would bind up. You would not be able to steer, and I wasn't as mechanically inclined back then. I was also a little bit shorter, and I'm almost betting that it was these plastic bushings in the A-arms. Let me show you what's going on, and we'll get into what it's going to take to fix this. So right here you can see these are very, very simple suspension. You've got this strut set up here with the spring and the shock thing, and these A-arms come to these bolts right up here in the front, and they should not move like that. That is unacceptable. And both sides of this machine are doing the same thing. So I've seen a few different ways on how to remove these. I've got an idea, and we're gonna see if we can get this thing pulled apart. I'm gonna put a 15mm on here, and then a 15mm wrench back here, and we are going to crack something loose. Okay, this front one came loose. Let's see if I try to turn this back bolt, see what happens. Okay, so that is not normally what happens. There is a bar here in the middle that is threaded on the ends, and the bolts thread into that. And usually one comes out and the other doesn't. So this, they did both kind of break loose. Yep, okay. There's our back bolt out. And now, with this kind of binding up, yeah, see, I don't think we're going to get enough of a bind on this to actually unscrew that front one. And I don't think we're going to get enough play to slide this off, but with one bolt out, now that we have that little bit of wiggle room, I think I can just get some vice grips on this center thing and unscrew that front one. Okay, that was significantly easier than everybody on the internet told me it was going to be. That actually went shockingly smoothly. So now I can just pull that out and kind of wiggle this around. Look at that, I can get that right up here, and you can see what's going on. This pulls out, and there's all that destroyed bushing. Just kind of shove all of that bushing out of there, and then we'll just slip our new bushings in. Just like that. Okay, so what happens if you put your new bushings in, reassemble everything, and forgot to grease it, and now you can't get it apart with vice grips like you did before because stuff won't move around? Well, I'm going to show you what you do. Go get a 3/8/16 bolt and nut of your choice, thread the bolt in, then tighten that nut up, grab some wrenches so that you can tighten that nut right in there good. Okay. Need to be able to hold both of these. So you can really tighten that in so that that'll hold. Now, get your other 14, which I think I said previously these are 15. They are not, they are 14s. And then you can use this to hold that center portion and unscrew your other bolt. And then, once you've got your other bolt out, you can then take this and counter hold this, crack that nut loose, then spin this guy right out, set that to the side, then pull this out so that you can service it, or in my case, apply grease. So I've got some extreme pressure molybdenum disulfide grease here, Moly EP. We're going to put some of that in there. I'm going to make sure that I get some of that on here. We want to coat this stuff up fairly good. The Moly EP is good for high pressure applications, not necessarily as good for bearings, but it's good for extreme pressure sliding type frictions like suspension components. So we'll just slide this thing in here. We don't have a whole ton of grease on there. There we go. Get some more on there. Just make sure this is nice and greasy. Yeah. All right, now we can reassemble everything. So let's pull this out. Slide this all together. There we have it. Now, no more playing this side. We'll do the other side over there, and this thing will be all set. There we have it. Those bushings are in. Everything went together remarkably easily. I expected a bit more of a hassle with this, but now our steering is nice and tight. We've got smooth, good steering. So that's all we can ask for, really. That's taking care of the weird binding and other issues that there were. So that's fixed. Thanks for watching.